G'day traders, welcome to wrap up of Monday the 5th of March. Got the daily chart up here. You can see we're starting our third consecutive day now, so starting Monday, we definitely had a little bit of a sell side after seeing these buys getting quite extended. To see two red days in a row indicates that maybe we'll start to get these sellers that we want to get. But what we're really looking for in the dailies here is to break down. You can see we've gone sideways here. The market's all of a sudden starting to hit its head and not really push higher, which is signs that it might want to head down. And really what it needs to do is break this little bit of a swing low here, which is 1150, and then again even past this little bit of a support area here, which is around the 1335 area and 1350 area up here. So they're two significant areas that we'd love to see the sellers break down and continue to push down. So at the moment the sellers are gaining back a little bit of control. It's still a very even market, but definitely started this Monday with the perception that the sellers could come in and have a go. And that's what started at the beginning here. We started to have a bit of a push down. Would have loved to have seen this push down a little bit further, then get a pullback, and I thought that would have been an ideal situation for a sell in the area. In the end, we ended up just getting a pullback pretty much straight away, but you can see it's broken down. So this area, as far as selling off, thought it, considering where the dailies are and the fact we had a pullback and then a sharp push to the downside, I thought this was a great area for the market to really push down and have a go. From there, we've said we pushed down, got into second pullback here. This is also another area where I thought the sellers would actually keep on pushing down and maybe even push, really have a go at that 1350 area that I talked about earlier. But in the end, it's gone a little bit sideways and hasn't really gone on with it. So you can see then the market's pulled back a third time just in this area here. So hopefully you can see that. One pullback, two pullbacks, three pullbacks. Okay, that's all on the same downtrend. By the time this third pullback's coming, you can see the market hasn't pushed lower. And also if you keep an eye on the other markets are also this time pushing higher and breaking resistance areas. So once we had this third pullback, it looked like it had no legs, and that the sellers had become a little bit stale and looked like the buyers might want to come in and have a go, and that's exactly what happened. We didn't break down any further. From there we pushed up a bit. Once we got our lunch, had a bit of a pullback and then pushed to the upside. So this is an area, as far as buying, this is probably the best opportunity of the day, and if you keep an eye on the other markets and was aware of support and resistance levels, should have seen that the buyers were gaining strength and that the sellers were running out of puff at this particular stage. As far as getting on a trade here, look to power play the upside, directional trades to the upside. I mean, this would have been at the end of this candle here a directional 5-minute directional setup. However, at the time the other markets just weren't quite pushing up hard enough at that time. I really like to see the Russell and things like that busting up to, if you're going to really get on this. So it's one just to leave myself left at the time, but definitely an area. Hopefully you can see why, regardless of where you got your entry, that it was an area that the buyers want to come in and really push the market up and go for the highs, just because of what the other markets were doing and the fact that the sellers couldn't keep on breaking down. From there we pushed up to finish off the day. Around here there was a yesterday's low line. It's now gone, but there was a line here which held the market down, so that's quite significant as far as Tuesday's trading is concerned. So the fact that Monday couldn't get, even though the markets came back up a bit in the afternoon, they couldn't get above Friday's low, which is a little bit of a win for the sellers right at the end of the day. So seeing what we've done now, we're keeping below that line, so that's a good sign for Tuesday, that they held that area, and hopefully definitely probably start Tuesday, depending on what happens over the next couple of hours, with perception that the sellers can have another go, that's for sure. Show you on the 1-minute chart. So here's this area we pushed down, got a pullback, and then from here it broke down. So if you're really confident, you could look at getting on this power fade here very early. It's the first one of the day too, but it was definitely an area, if you're aware of the dailies and what's going on, that you could have picked up on quite early. This one here has held up the market, hasn't gone on with it. Then it's pulled back. I thought this power fade here had a good opportunity at working once we pushed down, pulled back, and had a second go. But in the end, it proved that the market was getting a little bit exhausted and extended on the sell side for now. And you can see then through lunchtime, or a bit before lunch, but and all through lunch, very sideways period. It took about 3.5 hours till we hit a power point, and you can see, you know, that's a very tight range of a couple of points there where we went sideways for 3.5 hours. It's quite a significant area was the 61.25. If we go back, 61.25. So it kept popping up to there and it kept holding. And if you looked at the Nasdaq at the same time, it's yesterday's close was sitting about this area, and it was just holding the markets down, holding. Then eventually it popped up, and from there that's where it looked like I wanted it to go. But in the end it didn't, and that yesterday's low, or that Friday's low, actually held the market, and you can see nothing really happened pretty much through the whole of the afternoon. So that's a wrap up for Monday. Talk to you guys Tuesday, and we'll be looking for these sellers to keep on having a go. Speak to you soon.